Hello and welcome back. It's been a minute.
I'm sharp.
Yeah, you are. Welcome. It's Shar and Preston. Quick, say something inflammatory. Um, I'm just kidding. Please don't.
How's it
All
going,
right.
everybody? Kicking it off with the Arc rules reveal.
Heck yeah, dude. All right. So Arc rules dropped. Um, if you didn't know, check. It's on the server. They dropped today. Matt, I haven't read them. You haven't read them. Hashtag adulting. Right? You've been at work. I've been at
True.
work.
This is very true.
I'm nervous. I don't know. I have really honestly not kept up at all on like the ops side. Um, so I have no idea what's going to be in these rules. I don't know what the map looks like. I don't know which bots are competing. I don't know if like maybe they're all autonomous this year, or I just went to the A&M alumni dinner and they were showing off their dart and their engineer and their aerial like, but they're not going to China. So do they know something I don't know? What the heck are they getting ready for?
I think
So
it's probably just like a not going to China this year angle because I think a lot of teams that are competing in Arc are still going to be trying to eventually go and compete in ARM-UC.
I hope so. I that's my hope. Um, that'd be great. Am much excited. Matt, can you throw an announcement in the A&M chat and the community of the ARC chat and whatever? We'll give everyone a second before we dive into the rules so we can all hop in together, look through it together. I would love to hear people's feedback. Make sure you throw one in the A&M alumni chat too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been chit chatting with the folks. There's been a lot of talk about what we hope comes out of this year. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation with Robo Masters and Arc separating in like a kind of formal way. We've talked on the last stream about the potential upsides that could have, the autonomy that we might have. So a lot of things could happen. Hmm. All right. Here we go. Chat. Oh, okay. Hold on. So there was this hilarious. I made Matt wait. We're gonna yap for just a minute before we dive into the rules. Matt, I didn't realize that you are in Rochester.
Yes, I am in Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay, so I had no idea there was a Rochester, Minnesota. Okay. Um. So I had a work trip last week to Rochester, New York, and I was trying to book my flights, and there are zero direct flights between Houston and Ithaca, Houston and Rochester. So I'm trying to book these flights. They're all gross. They all have layovers. It's just gonna be nasty, like tiny little puddle jumpers to get into the town. And I just assumed when I typed in, and I'm not going through like a normal, right? I'm going through my company's booking thing, right?
Mhm.
So I've just typed in from Houston to Rochester, and it said, okay, cool. I book the flights and then I get to booking my hotel and it's like, okay, luckily it's through the same service. So I start booking the hotel and it's giving me addresses in Minnesota. I booked flights from Houston to Rochester, Minnesota when I meant to go to Rochester, New York.
Did they reschedule you at the airport, or was that something that you had to do
Oh,
online?
thank goodness I caught it like a week before I flew out while I was booking my hotel. I don't know what I would have done if I'd gotten to the airport, or heaven forbid I had like gotten to freaking Rochester and then realized I was in Minnesota instead of New York. Goodbye profit margin on that job, I guess, is what would have happened. But anywho, that's wild. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah,
Tom wearing
well, also
shorts.
The Reddit for Rochester, Minnesota is a lot smaller than the one for Rochester, New York.
Okay,
So
yeah, probably the
it's
population is too. I
mostly Mayo that's here. That so if you're booking flights, usually I'd imagine you'd probably be flying in to go to Mayo rather than flying in to go to New York, especially if you're just going for Rochester and New York.
bro, I really wish that the site would just sort by like population rather than alphabetical. Like I get Minnesota comes before New York, but anywho, I almost came and gave you a surprise visit. Would have been fun, I guess. I would have
Yeah,
been real
yeah.
stressed, but would have just
Well,
showed up.
you could have stayed here for free for sure. The couch behind me actually folds out into a bed. So
Oh, snap. Very nice. Tom Wearing Shorts, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your Prime sub. Guys, if you've got them, we'll take them. All of the Prime subs in the world. Matt, we are so back. I know that's what we
we
said
are.
last time we did the content, but the rules have dropped. The drought is over. League of Legends Worlds is wrapping up. I'm about to have so much time on my hands. I'm pumped. You ready to take a peek?
Oh, I'm so ready to take a peek, Preston.
All right, chat. If you don't already know, you can check out ARC at arc-robotics.org. And then it's pretty easy. I just go for participants, and you can check out the manuals. We got to start with
Maybe go events.
yeah, I think events. They're named slightly differently, but I think we want the events one first. Ooh, fancy new colorway. Let's get to scrolling. All right, chat. 2025, 2026. Dang, they put in some work. All right, table of contents. We got 3v3. This is already like, I know if you're newer this year, you're like, dang, Preston, y'all are really reacting to like the table of contents. But this right here, just the fact that it says 3v3 is a large piece of information.
3v3. There is 3 robots on the field.
Yeah, hero, infantry,
You do know
sentry.
this.
Looks like we'll be able to look at the competition. Whoa, thanks for the something. Ah, it's hiding. It's hiding behind the thing. Hey, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. I really appreciate it, Tom Wearing Shorts. Dude, is your Twitch name like a call out to the Pokemon trainers that wear shorts? Because that's what I think of every time. All right. Economy system capture point again. That's a big one. 1v1 match engineering challenge. Heck yeah, glad that's coming back. Ooh, dude, Arctic is a really cool acronym for the Technical Innovation Conference.
It is. It is.
WARC. That's great. All right. Okay, so it doesn't seem like any of this is super crazy to begin with. There's going to be a Q&A, guys. If you have questions, throw them in here, and we'll chat about them together. I remember that Matt nor I are, qualified to tell you anything. So we will speculate with you. We'll predict with you. We'll argue with you. But if you have real questions, you can take them to the Q&A where the ops will answer them for you. It's in like a week or two. It's in the Discord server details.
Yes, I believe November 2nd is the day. I don't exactly remember the time, but I know it was announced in the channel.
Perfect. All right. These are just terms. Having a rules manual that is written natively in English is going to be nice. Every year there's usually a question from the RoboMaster rules about if they actually meant that or if it's just a rough Chinese translation. And they've been working on it. It's been getting better. They've been engaging with some of our community members to help get that translation a bit more natural. But
when it comes to technical details, you got to be very specific. And
yeah.
Specificity in translation is a very difficult thing to do.
Ooh, we got some spoilers from a new cow. It says the big changes are what's missing from this year's rules that were there last year. So we'll have to keep an eye out, Matt. And if we miss them, new cow, anyone in chat, make sure, give us a shout. Throw it in the chat. Tell us what we've missed, or I guess what we've overlooked is missing. It's a double negative, but all right. Sentry is fully autonomous again. 0 pilots per robot, 1 pilot for hero, 1 pilot for infantry. Dude, that would be a freaking awesome. Can I throw my vote out next year to have the hero be a 2-man, like isolated
Pacific Rim?
Heck yeah, dude! Pacific Rim, or like a freaking, like last year. Remember we had so many heroes acting like boats, and I just want to fully commit to where one person's launching the cannon and the other person's driving.
Water game? You said boats? Water game?
Whoa. All right. The Hero, 12 meters per second launching speed. It gets 142 millimeter. None of this seems. Initial projectile allowance is 0. Okay.
I believe that's how it was last year too, because you'd have to buy ammo from the get-go.
Whoa. Somebody, why? Do I really not have a YouTube stream right now? Because I definitely threw this through Restream or whatever. So I should. I should have a YouTube stream. Matt will check. And if we don't, thanks for being here on Twitch. And we still love you, YouTube chat, because we will upload this later. All right. The infantry, 25 meters per second.
We are live on YouTube.
Sorry?
We are live on YouTube.
All right, sweet. Heck yeah. Okay. The robots look pretty standard. No pun intended. Chat, I don't really see anything crazy about any of these robots so far.
I think right where your mouse was, besides, yep, 117 millimeter going on the Sentry, coming down from 2, having the firepower of the Sentry, which we saw as one of the most prominent robots last year.
So take a second, Matt, digest. Are you for or against?
I think it levels the playing field between the upper echelon teams that could get their Sentry to work and the teams that couldn't. Because having that level 10 Sentry out there at the beginning of the game with maximum amount of ammo and maximum amount of fire rate, that made it, I mean, as we saw with both CU and VT just being able to tear through each other with their sentries, not having that at the very beginning of the game could definitely shift the dynamic. I think it's a good change. I think it's a good change because it gives less emphasis to the sentry, which a lot of teams have a whole lot of trouble figuring out because it's 100% autonomous decision making, aiming, shooting, driving. Very difficult to do.
Okay. I can see that. I don't hate it. Like I'm not against it. I do think it will slightly reduce the time to kill, which I'm a fan of. I like longer time to kill in these games. I did feel like the game was actually really well balanced last season. We saw, for the first time, I think, we saw a lot of people chasing kills, and sometimes the enemy would get away, and sometimes they would get taken down. And I think that balance point is really hard to keep. It's very involved, right? It's robot speed and chassis power mixed with health and mixed with barrel
skill
heat and damage and skill, right? Yeah, just like keeping that balance so that there is potential that, like, because if that tips too far one direction, then there's no point never running away because you'll die every time you try to run. So you may as well just stick it out and just blast, and that's really boring.
We saw, I mean, with VT's Sentry being able to go from like inside their base, their starting zone, all the way into the zone itself, being, I think it was what, sub 3 seconds, sub 4 seconds. And also seeing their Sentry chase in a lot of their later games. I feel like it gives less emphasis and less power to the Sentry to be able to do that, to then make it less of a just, I'm just going to stay here and hold my ground and Alamo situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could be good.
I think if the balance is going to shift, I want it to go to a longer time to kill rather than a shorter, right? Because if it goes too far in one direction, a too short time to kill makes the game very gimmicky, in my opinion. Like, it's just whoever hits first. It's not as entertaining to watch. It's not as fun to play. It's just gray screen simulator. So I like it.
And we know for sure that it's going to slow down time to kill, at least for the Sentry itself. And Sentry to Sentry combat, Sentry to other robots, and it's the Sentry's still very impactful because it's another robot on the field with the 17mm that also still starts at level 10. Well, I guess we don't know if it still starts at level 10, but presumably still starts at level 10. And now we see the field, though.
Ooh, I love it.
Look at how much different dynamics there are on this field. It looks so fantastic.
Okay, first of all, it has a name. Excellent work. the battlefield. All right. Matt, let's just go back and forth. My favorite thing just straight off the rip, the resupply zones are no longer in a corner. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. It opens
Yep.
up multiple lanes. We've seen them try and do lanes before from different, seasons of the game, both in the University Championship and in University League permutations of RoboMasters. I'm really excited in the first year of ARC to see that resupply zone get out of the corner. It opens up two at least very distinct lanes, and I think there's argument here for kind of a third on the left.
Yeah, yeah. You have the low lane, or at least like you have. I mean, you have three ways out of base, right? You have the wall section, which you could use as cover to be able to retreat quickly. You have the bumpy road if your suspension's good enough that it's not going to impact your aim. You could even be spinning on the bumpy road. Probably not advisable for most teams, as it's very difficult situation to figure out your suspension to be able to spin and not have your camera be hitting one of those numbers and shaking your whole screen. But then you also have the high road, and the high road I think is going to give you the best position, obviously giving you a decent amount of cover if you're taking that middle point. And so I think that's going to be where we see a whole lot of the action this year.
Yeah. Okay. So right off the bat, I have some questions, chat. What do y'all think the purpose of these boxes over underneath the capture point are? Like to the right of the capture point. I'm trying to think of, like, obviously you could hide behind it on the short end of the rectangle for cover if you're on the red team, right, on this side, to fire at oncoming traffic and extending teams.
Giraffe cover.
Giraffe hero could be giraffe cover. It's interesting. It's an interesting box. I love that the bumpy road doesn't extend behind it. Yeah, New Cow agrees, probably cover. Steven says maybe cats come out of it. Oh man. Interesting.
I really
Okay,
like the
so
new look of the map, though.
yeah,
I think this is going to allow for a whole lot more dynamic play, and having that not being constricted to the corner, like you said, opens up the three lanes, and you can still go and, you know, shoot somebody in spawn, but they also get, I believe, a defensive buff in the base, if not at least just they're regenerating health. So you're going to be fighting from fountain. We've seen fountain dives in League all the time, and if that would still hold true, whether or not you could actually do that much damage, especially early, you're not going to be able to do that much damage. We saw time to
we've seen some kills happen right when robots enter a resupply zone. Because the healing is pretty good, but it does take a little bit of time. One, if you're close to dead, especially a hero projectile can finish you off pretty easily while you're in the base. So my prediction, I know it's really early for predictions, but I think the really good sentries are going to take the bumpy road. It's the easier path. It has tags in all the locations you would want tags. You don't have to navigate these 90-degree corners. So I think that bumpy road will kind of be the sentry entry and exit. And
That's
then
if your odometry pods are good, though. Because if you're relying on the pods like using encoders,
yeah,
not so much.
fair. Yeah, very fair. Yep. It depends on, you're right. If they're using encoders, the bumpy road might mess them up. Teams, if you're on a team and you're like, my sentry's bad at self-driving, that's also a path that you could kind of hard code in a little bit. You could, it's going to consistently, it's pretty wide. So if you're off by 3 inches, 6 inches, it's not going to hurt you.
I think if you get stuck there, you're going to get really hurt, though, because if that sentry starts trying to spin just to be defensive, bye-bye vision systems if you don't have good suspension.
Yeah, could be tough. But I think the sentries take the bumpy road, and then I think the two humans split, and one of them peeks the wall, and one of them comes up and down the ramp. It'll be interesting to see if here's some more views of that field. It'll be interesting to see if the ramps prove problematic for for our competitors. In the past, we've actually seen a lot of teams struggle to get up and down the ramps, particularly with early levels.
What's the dimension of the between the wall and that bottom pallet?
The wall and
700?
the bottom pallet, 700. Yeah, I think that's in millimeters,
Mm-hmm.
centimeters.
Important to
Millimeters.
remember 700 to see what the robot building specifications are and see if we actually like if you'd have to make your robot smaller to be getting back there, or if it's something that is already kind of innately allowed by other robots having to be smaller than 700.
Yeah.
Curious to know what the rule makers decided to go with.
Definitely one to keep in mind. The hallway, if you will, is 1,000 millimeters.
So see, there it seems like there's a little bit of distinction.
Yeah. And then it's 800 millimeters to get into the hallway. So it does open up a little bit, which is nice because you might be spinning right after you make that 90 because you'll be peaking and such. That's an area you might want to spin. You probably don't have to be spinning to get into the hallway to get started.
It seems like smaller might be better for this year. Being able to be very nimble around these corners and nimble inside of the different zones, like smaller than 700, but also able to spin.
All right, the ramps are a 15-degree angle. Pretty classic. Yeah, I love it. The high ground's cool. The capture point and the RFID patterns are very familiar. The bumpy road pattern also very familiar. Is this correct? There's no way the hardness of the 17 millimeter and the hardness of the golf balls are the same, right? I have a Shore hardness tester at work. I might contest this.
Do you have some grapes and golf balls lying around somewhere?
Oh, brother, do I? Yeah. I've moved 3 times and since I was on a RoboMasters competitive team, and they are still in my garage of this house. They will never leave.
Yeah, I think I had some in my suitcase.
Perfect. All right. Then they got the visual markers. So the visual markers primarily used for the autonomous driving assistance. They give you a nice PDF file of it. That's awesome. Very helpful.
Steven, I will commit to that bit at comp.
Dude,
Hold me
I've
to
been
it. I'll
saying
do it
for
live.
years we need to grab some Nerf guns that shoot the little spheres. And
No, not Nerf guns. Just put your robot on max level. I gotta feel it. Well, I'll let you know which one's harder.
Dude, Matt. We could do that
max,
TikTok
max
trend
to
or whatever.
Max to the rules. To the rules. I mean, I play airsoft and paintball before.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying, have you seen that one where they're like, day 1 of throwing a beer in my boss's face till he can guess what flavor it is or whatever? Have you seen those?
No.
We'll do day 1 of shooting
now.
Matt with with an arc robot until he can guess which robot it is.
Hey, I'm down for that. Though I think it might be pretty easy. Well, Sentry versus Standard would be difficult, but
all right, the pilot room. Cool. You know what I was thinking about the pilot room, Matt? Like I said, it's Worlds for League of Legends right now, so I've been watching a lot of Pro League. When you watch a league event, or I'm fairly certain it's also the same for a lot of competitive esports, they put the pilots facing the audience. And then they're just in front of, for them, it's a projector screen. For us, it would be the arena. That way, like, you'd have to stop and turn around to look at what the heck your robot's doing. So you're still not going to be able to see the field. I thought that might be a cool version. They just have them face the crowd instead of being in the little curtained off rooms. But just for vibes.
Yeah, I mean that the whole atmosphere of the competition, right? I think that would give a lot of people stage fright, though. Making them face
like
the.
At some point,
yeah, I guess.
You gotta. You're the pilot. It's all on you. Like, we want to see your face when you misplay and you throw the whole game. We want to see your face when you go freaking like Super Saiyan, like the whatever that standard. What was that standard pilot's name from last year? Starts with an R. But the dude that just went crazy and went 1v3 and just took them all out like 3 times and would chase
Rishi?
him down. Yes. Rishi, man, he was on another level. Would love to have seen Rishi just like in front of the crowd when he gets the triple kill. And then again, when he pushes the game 2 and dies trying to get the double.
Yeah. But then you also might have the who was it in Worlds that got like BM'd by the cameraman that was like crying after they lost and then just got
but I want
on
those
the main
moments. I
screen?
want both of those moments, Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. 100%. I want both of those moments. All right. So attacks and collisions. Chat, all of this looks pretty normal. Please let me know if you feel like I'm missing anything epic. If you
Big
shoot
change
too fast,
was the
you
heat.
get locked.
Was from one of the YouTube comments that I just realized I needed to scroll down for.
What'd you say?
The big change is heat. So heat on presumably one of the 3 robots for their barrel heat is changed. So that might need to be a scroll back up moment. Well, I guess right here.
Yeah, we're getting there. So the locking and unlocking is interesting. I don't think it's particularly new.
Well, remainder of the current round, if you go too much overspeed, is pretty severe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's was in last year and nobody just did it, but
the launching mechanisms of the hero infantry and sentry will be locked when the robots exceed the barrel heat limits. Yep. Locks and unlocks due to excessive barrel heat limits are independent from locks and unlocks caused by other reasons. Yep. I mean, the equation is definitely different. Set Q naught as the barrel
it's
heat
heat
limit.
as every robot is low.
I'm reading chat. What is Q2? Did I miss Q sub 2 getting defined? Set Q naught as the barrel heat limit and Q1 as the current barrel heat. Yep. Every time you fire a projectile, Q1 goes up. Donde, what is Q2? Is it just Q1 at some? Is it just Q1 at some later date?
Well, it's the barrel heat limit, right? So like if 200's your limit.
No, Q naught. Q naught is the barrel heat limit.
Oh, that sub is way too small for me to see.
It's Q sub 0 as the barrel heat limit, Q sub 1 as the current barrel heat, and then we start talking about Q sub 2. But when Q sub 2 is greater than Q sub 1, which is greater than Q sub 0, which basically the second half of that inequality is saying that when the current barrel heat exceeds the barrel heat limit, the visibility of the robot pilot computer will be reduced. Yep. And the launching mechanism will be locked. These restrictions will be in place until, oh my goodness, Q sub 1 equals 0. I think that's how it was last year.
Yep. That's how it was last year.
It's painful, though.
Yes.
That's not how it's always been. And it's
previously you could feather the edge and just be, seeing and not seeing, but then getting screwed up.
And now you really want to feather like 70%, because if you touch that 100%, you have to wait a painful amount of seconds.
Especially on a hero.
So there's some barrel heat Q2 that we need to go find, because when your current barrel heat is greater than Q2
is the extra high limit, according to YouTube chat.
Yeah. It gets defined down here. I'm not nitpicking. They defined their variable after they used it, but we're moving on. I'm over it. We got there, chat. Thanks, YouTube chat. YouTube chat, really above and beyond. But yeah, so you're right. So Q sub 2 is just a huge over. That's not that huge. It's 10 projectiles past the barrel heat limit for standards, and it's 2 projectiles over the barrel heat limit for heroes. And if your barrel heat goes above that number, your launching mechanism is locked for the remainder of the current round. Implication: we have seen in the past heroes in particular kill themselves by launching too many 42 millimeter projectiles at a base and just saying, screw it, there's only, like, I'm just going to tank it. And they just boom, 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 boom. If you fire, we also have seen heroes accidentally double fire or triple fire. So I think indexing on the hero is going to be very important. That's only 2
Yes.
projectiles past your barrel heat max, which means if you are right at your max and you click and you accidentally triple fire, which doesn't happen quite as often as double fires, right? But you could accidentally brick your hero. That's all I really get out of this. The 17 millimeter, I'm not super worried about. I feel like most teams have that figured out, where you're not going to shoot 10 extra past your maximum heat limit. It does, you know what? We do need to note, Matt, that the barrel heat is independent from the speed that it passes through the barrel. So if your flywheels spin down slowly enough that you kind of dribble out some projectiles at the end of firing, you need to make sure you stop in time, or just get your feeding mechanism tuned so that it has a pretty good deceleration.
Yep. And YouTube chat's having a bit of a discourse about like triple shooting or overshooting, and a lot of that is, we're talking about shooters turned off, right? But it kind of depends on how long the tube is that you have going to feed, because if your flywheels are spinning, or if you also have 3 flywheels, or some things that we've seen in China as well, then that can carry enough momentum that if you had maybe 5 or 6 projectiles in the tube going to the hopper with like before your agitator, or after your agitator on its way to the flywheels, then if your robot pitches down and just dumps those out, it doesn't have to actually go at really any speed. It just has to leave the barrel, right? And so that counts towards that barrel heat as well. And you see a lot of that where robot will be fine, goes down, and then it just like dribbles out more.
Hero indexing. Teams, please put that as one of your to-dos, because we have seen really good teams, A&M, Texas A&M, sorry, as recent as like last year, ramming the wall to try and get their hero to launch projectiles. So I understand that indexing those hero projectiles is still a very difficult task, engineering wise. Get the indexing figured out. You can add like Matt's saying, you can add a 3rd flywheel that feeds projectiles. There's a whole lot of different things you could do, but indexing the 42s is going to be important. And then just making sure your 17s, you don't have some sort of kind of glaring mechanical issues where it dribbles projectiles. All right, and then, hey, look, they've got this nice little flow chart for us. I think we figured that out pretty well now. I feel good about the barrel heat.
Power limit. That's the infamous noob killer. Happens every year.
Yeah. If you go above power limit, your chassis is powered off for 5 seconds.
The way teams can get around this is by using supercapacitors to be able to use that as a power source instead of their battery to have their sprint mechanic.
Wait, does this mean you don't take damage when you exceed the chassis power limit? Was that true last year as well? If that's true, I like it. Just turn off the robots for 5 seconds. It's still super punishing, but it's more entertaining than watching robots kill themselves.
And it also doesn't. Well, a lot of times it'd be a module dysfunction, right? That would then lead to the slow drain and then give 10 points over.
Yeah. All right. And then here's the different things that your robot just gets absolutely murked by the ref system, but that happens every year.
They're saying nothing did damage last year for
Good.
disconnection.
Uh, if you're
I'm 90% sure we saw robots. I'm 100% sure we saw robots sitting there without getting hit, just draining health until they die, and then coming back and draining health until they die. I believe that's how UW
we
won
had
one of
some
their
armor
games.
panels, yeah, get disconnected and one got shot off and such. When occupying the red supply zone, they restore 25% of their maximum HP per second. Yeah, ref system disconnects. That's what we're talking about,
Yes,
NuCal.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so agreed.
Whether or not it's
The
ref
the
system, whether or not
power
it's
limit
overpowered, that kind of
exceeding
stuff.
no
Yeah.
longer hurts you, and that was true last year. I think we were all in agreement. We like that rule. We no longer have to watch teams just destroy their robots virtually to get out of the base if there's a tiny bump in the way. Ooh, okay. I like this. That's how it might be. I think it's the same amount of time addition that it was last time, but we did see this start to take a big effect. Each subsequent robot respawn takes 5 additional seconds. I think this is simpler than it was last year. I remember the math being a bit more complicated last year for how long the respawn timer was, but anyway, I like the respawn mechanic as it is. I like the time going up every time you die. It encourages living.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. After respawning 20% maximum HP, enter temporary active state. Robots in temporary active state have their launching mechanism locked until the robot occupies its resupply.
Uh-huh. Yep. So
That
if
wasn't
you
there last year, was it? I thought we saw robots go up and then immediately start shooting.
hold on.
Could be wrong.
What is Yeah, no. No, this is just saying that if you die, that you respawn, and then when you respawn, you have to return back to your base before you can start shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it is.
Invincible all the way back?
It is longer. Um
Oh, Sentry last year had the exception. Okay, I was like, I saw a robot
yeah.
come back to life and start
Well,
shooting.
and I think this temporary state feels much longer. Chat, can someone confirm 30 seconds to get back to base seems much longer for invincibility.
Yes, much longer.
And that's good. That'll help the 30 seconds versus 10 seconds. Yeah, that's. I hadn't looked at this year's rules, which maybe I should have looked at last year's rules to kind of get ready for this year's rules. But just from gut feel, this will really help the new teams stay competitive. They won't get respawn killed, right? You won't be able to farm them. You won't be able to snowball as quickly if you have a level advantage from getting that first kill. That second
Mhm.
kill, you will only have a small XP lead. Um, yeah, and the new field might be a little bit more difficult to get back to your base from some positions. That's fair. Like we might need some of that time, but I like the longer time. Again, I am a fan of longer time to kill rather than shorter. I think watching spawn kills on someone that has 20% HP and can't shoot back is not super engaging. So I'm glad that hopefully most teams will be able to make it back. Ba-ba-ba-bum. All right. They get some gold. And then again, when the victory points difference is at a certain number, the team that's currently lagging, the key team that's currently lagging gets some added gold to help kind of again decrease snowballing. That was implemented last year. Yep. The costs look the same.
Capture point. Did they change how scoring for capture point is?
Ooh, interesting. There's some little nuance rules here to help prevent taking 42 millimeter projectile damage if you shouldn't be taking 42 millimeter projectile damage. So, I mean, we've seen this where you hit projectile, where you go negative in your projectile allowance. So some of those hits may be nullified now, and I think that's a great move.
Specifically talking about the third 42 millimeter projectile after it is defeated.
Well, because like the first one, like if you die technically right before the 42 millimeter projectile hits, I want that one to count, right? Because you shot it before you died.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can get 2 off before you died. But if you get hit by a third one, like that's just momentum of flywheels. Stop.
Yep.
Justice for my boy. All right, capture points. The position of the capture point is shown above in the field map. Both points start with 200 victory points. The capture point activates after the round starts. The capture point can only be occupied by one team or multiple robots of the same team at a time. If robots from 2 teams are both within the capture point, the team that arrives first will occupy the capture point. Okay, that's the same. The mechanisms are as follows. While a team occupies the capture point, the enemy team loses 1 victory point per second. Okay, so we're subtracting, right? Each time when a robot is defeated, the team loses 20 victory points.
I thought we were still gaining. I didn't read the first sentence. I read that they lose 20 whenever a robot dies, and I was like, these games are about to be really long.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, the capture point seems normal. Winning criteria, victory points, more victory points, more damage. I don't care about 4 and 5. Hot take, I guess, but we shouldn't really need to get all the way down there. Group stage, elimination stage, 1v1s. We got a standard. It's 1. It gets 1 pilot. Chat, give me a little sneak peek. Has anything changed for 1v1s? It's 1v1s. The competition area looks pretty much the same. What are the levels we're talking about? Whoa. Did they remove level up? Did they remove experience?
And the heat changed as well.
Wait, no, but is there no, like, the robots don't level up anymore?
I think we might have not gotten that far yet.
No, I just don't think they. I mean, we're done. We made it to 1v1s, Matt. What the heck?
No levels.
I don't like that. Whoa. Hey, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it, Michael. Yeah. Yeah, the react emoji is right. Okay, I mean, here's my just off the cuff is it seems like we have put in more rules like elongating the invincibility to help people be able to get back. We've increased some time to kill to try and slow down snowballing. But it kind of feels like we've fully removed snowballing. We have, bonus gold for the team that's losing. Whoa. Hey, we did it, guys. We hit our sub goal of 10 subs. I really appreciate it. Matt and Shar and I thank you. It helps us, it's just feedback for us on what y'all want us to be doing and make sure we actually are doing this. And then it also helps pay for all of the equipment that we use to do the stream at the event. And if we make enough, we might eat at the event also. Very exciting. Thank you guys. We do appreciate it. Matt, I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. I we need some. There needs to be an advantage for doing good. Like so here's my take. I'm a very one-dimensional video game player, okay? I love League of Legends. When I play League of Legends, if I get ahead, I have better items than my opponent, and eventually I just stomp them like the brainless bug in silver that they are. I don't love playing Halo Infinite. I will play it with friends, I'll play it sometimes. No matter how good I'm doing or how bad I'm doing, I spawn in, I have the same dang guns as everyone else, the same health as everyone else. I meet up with someone else, and it doesn't matter if they're 50-1 and I'm 1-50. We are meeting as equals in the battlefield. And I understand that, different strokes for different folks. Some people love that kind of gaming. Call of Duty kind of feels like a mix, right? Where if you grind the game, you can upgrade your guns and have a loadout that you like, so that you meet and it's not quite level. Or like battle royales, where like if you're doing better than an opponent that game, you'll have slightly better guns, but there's also some RNG. It feels like without levels, we've kind of gone full Halo Infinite, where no matter how much you're winning the game, I mean, heck, I'd say we still have anti-snowball mechanics in the game, so when you meet up with your opponent, you might be at a disadvantage if you were winning.
I think it puts a lot more emphasis on the technical aspect, because with both teams having a lot more of a level ground when it comes to the interacting with the game elements, it puts a lot more emphasis on accuracy. It puts a lot more emphasis on like precision. You got to make sure that you're actually hitting the right target and you're hitting the right target consistently. Like these are two very important things now that previously were not as prevalent in the game before, where if once you could get ahead, or if the other team had a sentry that was not working correctly, you could just go and kill those, get your levels. Or if you were just your robot was a lot more advanced, then the level and game mechanics, as we saw, oftentimes the people that would be at the level advantage would also be at the technical advantage, right? So
Yes.
to have that
Yes, but
be something that you can at least try and level on like a bit more, because I'm kind of opposite with you, Preston. I like playing the rat games. I like playing Tarkov and loading my gun up with leg ammo, and it doesn't matter how much money your kit's worth. My little Keter is gonna eat your legs, because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be running around the map, and I'm gonna hear somebody that's like, oh boy, they're not gonna be suspecting somebody here because this isn't the camping spot. I'm just using the environment as I am going around the map, not ratting in one specific spot, but going and being prevalent in the map and then moving into the spots and being smart about it. I enjoy the tactical outplay a lot more than I do the, oh, I played, for like it's kind of like the difference in racing, right? Where it's like, oh, F1 driver makes like one mistake and now they're like 5 positions behind, versus at like lap like 150, oh no, you lost all progress up to that point because you made like one mistake in that regard. And so it kind of feels like they're removing that aspect of the competition of, you've worked all year on these robots to kind of finally perform, and now even if they're not going to be like the absolute top of the line ones, or the first or second place, your contention for your top 8 is going to be a lot more close.
okay. Okay. Um I hear you, and I don't disagree. I agree that it's going to make it definitely a lot closer. I think we might start to see, and chat, please remember that I am a below average gamer in all respects. I'm a grown man. I've come to terms with that.
Me too, playing Battlefield 6.
But I think we might see some silver Overwatch. I think we might see teams let the other team push early, and then once there's that 70-point difference in victory points, they get the bonus gold, and then you take over the capture point. You kill the enemy team, which gives you a big swing in points, right? You get that triple kill. You get 60 points. Now you're basically neck and neck again, but you have more gold and there's less remaining victory points. You squat up on that capture point, and then you never let them take it back. that's how most of my Overwatch games go, right? Like one team takes the capture point, they get to like 1/3 or 1/2 of the winning things, and you're like, oh, they're totally gonna win. And then the other team comes in, sweeps them, and then the other team and then the first team, right, the aforementioned team trickles in one at a time because I'm a crap gamer, so I play with crap gamers. They trickle in one at a time and just get killed for the last 5 minutes of the game. So I think there is I think that's a possibility, and that's not a bad thing, right? I'm just saying that that's a prediction for without levels, there's less incentive to win the early game, and I think there's actually incentive to be losing in the early game to give that first points. Uh, mm, 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 mm. New Cow saying
Oh,
with
I think we
the
lost you on
damage
audio.
change. Yeah, it's just you, Matt. I think. Let me. I can fix it. There you go, Matt. You can hear me
There we
again
go.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just you. Video Ninja defaulted back to no audio source. New Cow saying that with the cooling and heat change, they don't think gold's gonna matter as much anymore.
But removing leveling does make hero a lot better, especially in 3v3. Because I mean, even in the main game 7v7, right? Or I guess in RVC 7v7, you have one robot that shoots the 42 millimeter projectile. So not like whenever you have levels that get shared by the sentry, whenever the sentry gets a kill in in 7v7, that's a very different effect for everybody than it is for the hero, because the hero's like, well, that's one less target that I could have been able to get the last hit on and get some XP for. And now it's less of an incentive of trying to let the hero try and get those kills, and does actually put a lot more emphasis on letting the hero play the early game. I definitely could see that as a point to be for all the hero drivers out there, maybe rejoicing that they aren't going to have to try and steal kills from their standard and sentry to be able to level up.
All right. Twitch chat says we need to be reading YouTube chat. Matt, that's you, bud. What's
I
YouTube
am.
chat
I
saying?
am. I'm saying what YouTube chat's saying. Removing the heroing does, or removing leveling makes hero better. And that the cooling nerfs are much more impactful for gold as well, because now, I mean, in RMUL last year, or RMNA last year, I don't think we really saw that many people run out of gold unless they were just straight up shooting as fast as they could. So I would definitely say gold would be less impactful, because you're not shooting nearly as fast, therefore you're not going to consume nearly as many projectiles, and previously there wasn't as bad. There wasn't a
Yeah.
problem with gold being spent too much in most
It'll be
cases.
interesting to see. I think the gold will allow you to change your strategy. Last year we saw a lot of we saw a lot of cycles, right? Because you had to go back, you're running out of ammo, you buy more ammo, you come back, you try and retake the capture point. It's a very cyclic game. I think there might be we need to do the math. I don't think we're gonna do it tonight, but we need to sit down and do the math. The team should sit down and do the math. There might be a turning point in the game where teams are confident that they can just kind of hold that center capture point for the rest of the game. If you have enough gold, you're right in that you might not launch all those projectiles in a single fight or at a time and or nearly as fast as in the previous game, but having that gold will allow you to stay longer, right? It'll give you the ability to kind of pre-fire the wall peaks, or just be a bit more aggressive with defending the capture point with your launching. All right, chat says we need to check out the sentry modes. So, Matt, go ahead and talk to us. I think that means I need to pull up Steven, sentry modes. Are we going to be in the robot building specifications from the RoboMasters website?
You're not actually able to use all of your gold with the new cooling system. You could not, if you started shooting from the beginning of the game, you could not use all of your gold.
Yeah. I'm not saying you need all of the gold, because there's two. Anywho, we'll see how it plays out.
But I'm saying the maximum case is what
Yeah, no, I understand, but I'm not talking about using every drop of available possible gold. I'm saying there's two instances, right, of gold giving to the team that's behind. And I'm saying if you take advantage of the first of those, you might be able to buy enough projectiles at that time that you never have to go back to base again. I'm saying what Nukow is saying, I think, at the same time, right? That you can't shoot enough to need to go back to base. So then it's just, can you maintain enough health that you let the other team take over the capture point first, and then you push them off of it after you're behind by 70, because now you never have to retreat, unless you're forced off by health. Like, you won't run out of
Well, the
projectiles.
physical projectile hopper is still something that has to be considered too, right?
Sure, yeah, I know. I know teams are gonna have to think about that, but
Well, isn't there usually limits on how many projectiles your robot can actually like physically carry? Or
nah,
no?
you can put as many as you want in there.
I guess it interacts with weight and stuff too, so.
Yeah, no, there's lots of mechanical reasons that you don't want to put 10,000 projectiles in your robot, but there's not like a, I mean, there's no rule against it.
Oh,
Uh,
well, that might be the other. Yeah, looks like there might be no refills because there's not really a reloading zone.
yeah, yeah. So I did notice that. Um, I mean, they're gonna be doing big hoppers, but with the new, I mean, I think we're all right. I mean, all of these rules, at least I appreciate that Arc did a good job of kind of making the rules cohesive. So no reloading zone fits well with the heat. Um, because if you can't fire as many projectiles, we hopefully won't get to a game state where everyone's just out of projectiles.
Yeah, 750 shots is the heat limit at 80% uptime, I
Because
believe.
that would be, yeah, but 750 is a ton, dude.
But that's with 80% uptime of shooting. 20% of time not shooting, you're not gonna be able to run out of that many projectiles with the heat and
Yeah,
cooling stuff.
okay, but like 500 projectiles is a ton.
I
Standards
mean, yeah,
for a
depends. It depends
standard.
on how accurate you can be with them too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if you're only hitting 1 out of 5 or only hitting like, you know, 2 out of 20 or 2 out of 25, like if you're just spraying and it's like just hitting a couple, mm, that's not too that's not too much damage over the course of what your potential could be, right?
Where is the button that says the download for the English version? Is it not? Oh, I can't do it like this. How is this not the download button? None of these are links. I wonder.
Oh, gold will last you for 80% of the shots, 600 standard shots, 60 hero shots.
Aha, I found the download button. It was hiding. I was hiding. All right, chat. Robot Specifications Manual, the English version. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Energy sources. They can use power supply or gas. You think we're ever going to see a gas robot at Arc?
Pneumatics? Pneumatics?
Could be, yeah. Like,
I mean, even a vacuum is gas, so we've already seen it.
okay, the engineering technical challenge doesn't count. I'm
I
talking
mean, it's
about
a
like
robot.
launching or something.
Oh, well, you can't use you specifically. I don't think can use gas to launch.
Then what are they doing with? I mean, is it just vacuuming then? Like,
At
what are
least
we
that's
talking
what I
about?
recall from reading the rules in like 2018. Whenever I was thinking like they shoot airsoft pellets with gas.
Crazy. All right, let's see. The compressed gas source, and you know what? This is probably mostly for. It's because this is for the ARM-UC rules, so this is probably mostly containing information for like the engineer. Because then you can use pneumatics for like moving your different stages and stuff. We could see gas. We could see like active suspension. We could see some gas stuff.
You can use gas to launch 20 or 200 millimeter stroke length. I'm talking about it's literally just a nozzle that shoots the air. Obviously, at the scale of which paintball does the same thing, right?
Yep.
So that kind of concept requires a lot more pressurized gas to get something of that mass, especially like a golf ball moving at that speed. Not to mention the golf balls already have holes in them, so like good luck having that go down your chamber. That also necessitates the need of a barrel, and you know that gets into like actual bullet dynamics in terms of like how much barrel you want to actually have for how much gas you have to not overpressure or underpressure your stuff. So a little bit different.
All right. Bum.
And also, if you're using gas to launch like that too, it's a lot. I mean, I would think it would be a lot harder to control valves for having some kind of proportional like range than it would be to
I
do that
wasn't
with
saying anyone
wheels.
should do it, Matt. I was just saying it's an option. It would be kind of
Yeah.
fun. Maybe maybe our rep standard. Maybe we go crazy. Maybe we do compressed gas.
You know, they do compressed natural gas garbage trucks.
I did
Did
not
not
know
know
they do
this.
compressed natural
Did
gas
not
garbage
know
trucks.
this until I worked here. That's like
Matt,
what half of garbage trucks are, actually.
if you were taking an exam and it asked you about natural gas, would you mark it as renewable or non-renewable?
I would say I mean, isn't there like the third option of like limited or whatever? But
What I'm telling you is on this exam, you only have two options.
um Oh wait, no, it's sustainable. That's the third usually. But I guess I would say it's renewable in that context.
I took my FE a couple weeks ago, and I got to a question similar to that, and I was like, I've been to a conference talk about renewable natural gas, and like, yes, it's methane capture, but still, it's a thing. Anywho, we're really off topic.
Is it not? You didn't provide an answer.
I don't know what the right answer was. I took the test, and
Oh.
there were 110 questions on there, and I got enough of them right to pass, but not enough of them right to be able to tell you for sure if I answered that one right. It doesn't tell you how many you got right, so I have no idea.
No, natural gas is not considered renewable because it's a fossil fuel. Thanks, ChatGPT answer. Let's see some actual
Yeah, but
humans
like cow
have that.
farts, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Chat. We are. It is quickly getting late, and we are quickly diverging into cow farts in garbage trucks. Oh, please, chat. Wait, before you all leave, because we're talking about poop. Put these fluorescent projectile energy charging devices on your robots, please.
I believe it's required per the rules manual.
Please. It didn't used to be. Heck yeah. Go ARC. W ARC. That's awesome. Love that.
Positive changes of being ARC instead of RMNA.
Yeah. Are teams doing this? Are teams doing wireless charging of things? Anywho, this is an RMUC only thing where that's
Is this what first meant by infinite recharge?
Interesting. All right.
For the projectile chargers, YouTube chat saying, don't use the DJI ones. Make your own that are properly spec'd because the DJI ones burn out super quick.
Valid. Bomb. All right, here we are, robots. Dude, the heroes have gotten heavy. My first year, I think the heroes had a maximum weight of 25 kilograms. They
Look at the expansion size, though.
dude,
Well, I guess this isn't Arc, but
no, so
that's
Arc
wider than the hallway.
So Arc is using the RoboMaster's building specification rules, and then they just have like little exceptions.
Gotcha.
So it's just this one page of exceptions, which is why we're now looking at the RoboMaster rules, because these will be the rules for the robot building for Arc.
Gotcha.
With those exceptions that we didn't look at. So, we'll step on our feet at some point. Wait, has the engineer maximum storage size always been smaller than the hero? That seems crazy to me. That's crazy.
Oh, advertisement spaces are not restricted in number or size.
Oh, for Arc?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, dude. Hey, teams, hit me up. Let me know how much it costs to advertise on your robot. Let me know if there are any restrictions to what I can put on your robot. I got some ideas. I got plans. Cool. Cool. The standard looks, pretty standard. We could skip over the drone. I don't think we're doing anything with Arc with the drone this year, right? Here's a section on what carabiners are.
One launching mechanism for Sentry as well.
Chat, we're almost done for the night. Lead me to a section. Where are these sentry modes?
Control F.
Control F is risky. Yeah, it says models. Operation modes.
RMUC rules manual. Sentry is single barrel standard sized.
Yeah, Sentry is single barreled standard sized. Yep. Man. Wait, but if it's not in the robot building specs, then I don't. Are they saying it's in the RMUC rules manual? Because I don't think.
Yes.
Okay, but is Arc using the RMUC rules manual?
I don't believe for RMUC, no. RMUL maybe.
Yeah, but I think Arc is using the robot building specifications manual, right? But then I think they have their own rules and participant manuals.
Sentry modes are RMUC only, so not RMUL.
Chat, we will definitely look at the at the RMUC rules. It will be a different night. It is getting late.
RMUC building specs.
I'm in the robot building specifications manual for RMUC right now. Yeah. Yeah, I know that maximum storage size is maximum initial size. As I was just saying, the engineer had a smaller initial size than the maximum storage size equals maximum initial size. Yeah. Had a smaller initial size than the Hero did, and that was just crazy to me. The engineers are usually big boys.
Cooling and damage are the two that YouTube is talking about.
Sorry?
Cooling and damage section for just all robots?
In the ARC rules.
I believe so.
Yeah, I feel like we've looked pretty well at the cooling and damage sections.
Well, damage is different for what? Heroes more than 100 now? I might have missed that. Attack damage or collision? Page 10, 11, 12. Oh, so not 21.
21. Operating mode for Sentry, autonomous. Okay.
Oh, standards 20 damage, heroes 200. No.
Dang, for real?
Oh, 21 is damage. So
oh
we were in the right
gosh, dude.
spot.
YouTube chat. This is why I just stay over here with Twitch chat. I can't do it. Brother, page 21 is not damage.
That's 22.
No, this is 21.
That's 22.
Day. This is 21.
Look up top on the top thing.
Oh my goodness, that's a PDF page. This is the rules page 21.
Yep, there it is. 200.
Okay, so wait. I'm gonna go back to our face cams because now we just need to chat about it, and then we're calling it a night. Matt, all of it in together. Has ARC done something, or have they taken a really long route to not doing something? Because if you can fire less projectiles because your barrel heat is different now, and you have so many more projectiles to be able to be fired, but you can't reload, so there's like less projectiles, and you can fire less projectiles, but your projectiles do twice the amount of damage that they used to do, then like, are we launching less projectiles, but wait, and we don't freaking level up?
I think Hero's gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
this year.
no, this is busted. Chat, nerf the Hero. What the crap? If you go HP, let me go back to this. If you go HP priority performance, for the standard, you get 350 HP. Guess what that does for you? Absolutely
2 hero shots.
Nothing. 2 hero shots. Oh, okay. That's so much better than if you go power priority. 2 hero shots. At least it's better than if you go, like, aggressive. 2 hero shots. Like, I get it. There's a difference in the number of standard shots, but I'm with you, Matt. I think the hero is about to just be redonkulous. Because in my head, I was like, oh, but they level up, and then it will be okay. But
Hero is nerfed. None of its shots will count as 42s. I don't know about that one.
Nah, that's a hot take. I mean, just because it's slow, and so you're going to have a pretty normal to plate hit, like glancing blows and stuff? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're on about, chat? Are we thinking that the decreased projectile speed limit is gonna make a lot of these 42s count as 17s? I mean, at least the hero is also 2 shots from a hero. Goodness gracious.
Paper Tiger.
Ooh, what? Let me look now with these new numbers. Let me look. Oh, hey, guess what, Matt? guess how many hero shots it takes to kill a sentry?
2.
2. This is kind of crazy. I'm nervous.
I'm curious to know the design decision of, like, I guess, trying to make the hero shots not register as hero shots.
Well, so okay, to be clear, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I haven't even looked. But I would assume that most of the things that Arc is changing independently are not software based. Like, I would assume that Arc is not making a branch of the software being used for for RMUL.
So during RMUC Q&A about the new rules, RMLC said they need to investigate the 12 meters a second hero shot speed to see if it needs to be changed.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not trying to say, Arc, you screwed it up. I'm saying, hey, there's some of these things that are software based that, like, I don't think Arc decided that seem a little suspect to me. I hear you, chat, on maybe 12 meters per second's too slow. I think that'll be kind of cool. Like, I'm all for hero having like a tank like style, almost like a mortar like style, having to arc projectiles, right? Harder to hit.
Arc mentioned.
Oh my goodness. I won't be able to. I'm all for the hero having to launch projectiles that, follow a steeper parabolic path. Interesting.
That we're in Fury combat.
Yeah. Chat, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping us point out. Thanks for pointing out all the different things. I'm gonna have to sit on those for a little bit. Interesting. Matt and I will be back. What's today? We'll be back this coming weekend. We'll be doing something. We might look at some RMUC footage. We might come back with some follow-up thoughts. Maybe we'll make our own question list for Q&As. We'll get some questions from the audience that we won't answer, but we'll talk about together. We got some ideas, got some things to do. Pretty soon I would like to start the rep standard because the rules are here now. So it's time for everybody to start building their robot.
I used SolidWorks for the first time at work today. Not the first time using SolidWorks, but the first time using it at work today. 3D printing something for research and development stuff. So very, very fun. And now I'm warmed up.
Dude, yeah, maybe
found
this
out you
weekend.
can split parts in SolidWorks and have 2 different parts coming from the same thing, kind of like a Part Studio and Onshape. Though I would petition that we use Onshape.
That petition is denied. I will not be using Onshape.
Oh my gosh,
I'm currently paying for a SolidWorks maker's license, and I'm so
yeah, me too. It's not that much.
Yeah, because it's great. Because you'd rather just have a SolidWorks license.
Or you can just do it for free on Onshape without even having to pay anything.
Chat, thank you so much for coming to hang out. I apologize for all of the slanderous news you've heard about Onshape here at the end. Onshape, I'm just kidding. If you want to sponsor us, I will 100% say really nice things about you. But SolidWorks, if you sponsor us, I'll say even nicer things about you.
I will still say nice things about Onshape regardless of if they sponsor us or not. That's how you know I'm a real one.
Yeah. All right, chat. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
See ya.